This is Le Foch 155. It is a Tier 10 French Tactory tank destroyer. Yesterday, some of you were disappointed that I had the picture of a Foch in my thumbnail talking about tank destroyers, yet I did not choose to play this vehicle and chose the E4 and XM66F. So, I will make a separate video on the Foch, talking about its capabilities, my opinion on this vehicle at its current state, and, I don't know. This actually marks my 10th video on the Foch 155 over the past 3 years of making content. The vehicle has changed a lot. In fact, this might be the most changed Tier 10 out there. It went from a single shot with really good DPM to a double shot and a single shotgun with really bad DPM. The double shot was broken when it was first released with like 3,500 DPM. Wargaming nerfed it. They kept the DPM, but they nerfed the way it dumped. And then they said it was still too OP, so then they changed it again to the current state that we're sitting at, which is a good amount of DPM at 2,800, and it's got a very fast intra clip of 3.75, but a long magazine reload of 17, and its alpha damage was nerfed from 560 to 500. But the vehicle also features a really good 600 alpha gun with great DPM at 3,000, but its dispersion is pretty mid, so I don't know. The vehicle, it has a lot of changes that have occurred over the years, and I would not be surprised if Wargaming changes this vehicle again in the next couple updates or something like that, because it's a classic Wargaming thing to do. Why leave a vehicle when it's balanced? Just change it and change it and change it so nobody's happy. But I actually believe that the Foch, in almost every iteration that Wargaming has had it in, is actually quite capable. And the current state that it's in is still very capable. The best way to think of it is as a double-shot Hori. While the vehicle doesn't have as much damage as the Hori, if you sit in front of it for 3.75 seconds, it deals more. Not only that, but the Foch also has really good pen, 400 millimeters. It barely loses any damage when loading its gold. The vehicle's got decent accuracy after the recent buffs to it, which has allowed the tank to actually be quite dangerous. So I am not going to complain with the current state of the vehicle, but as I said, knowing Wargaming, it will most likely be changed before it does actually get any, well, bruh. Okay, well, we were still able to get the shell out. I'm not sure if my game volume's a little too loud, but oh well, I guess you're gonna deal with it, because there's not much I can do about it. We're gonna reload and see if we can get any more chunkaroonies out. We got the enemy VK-90. I'm not spotted, I know that for a fact. There you go. Nice 518 damage shell into the VK. And unfortunately, that one went right into his gun mantlet. But you know what? We're up to 1,500, which is a pretty solid result. The mouse is, well, making a really bad maneuver. But his name is I Am Noob, so at least he's sticking to his name. So at least he's got that going for him. We're going to aim it on the VK-90. There you go. Another pen into his vehicle. I don't understand how we're not spotted, or we are spotted the entire time. It's one or the other. Either way, we're going to aim it on the FE2 and 5 Beast turret cheek, and there you go. We weren't spotted that whole time. I don't know how, but that VK-90 was not detecting us. But as we can see, in these first moments of dangerousness, the Foch has been doing some pretty good results. The gun on the vehicle is very, very dangerous, and this Nox player is very, very dead. We've got the Jagdpanzer in front of us, and don't know if he's going to show us his weak spot, but I'll wait. I'll just keep on waiting. That's the best thing about this vehicle, is that you can just chill in one spot, wait for your opponent to make a mistake, and then back in the cover. As you'll notice, we are actually doing pretty good. 3,300 damage. We are at pretty good everything, actually. We haven't bled any health either. The only real downside is that we're out of heat shells, which is actually a big downside, to be completely real. Let's see, we got the M60 off to the side. Hello, good sir. Bonk. The Jag did end up shooting us, but there's really not much I can do about that. What we are going to do is make our way on up here, get a nice heat shell into the Jag for 521, and then back on up. The great thing about driving this vehicle is that you just hit as hard as, you know, a truck, and then you have 2 shells instead of 1. So if this Jag does decide to YOLO us, we should be in an alright position here. But I guess we'll see. I don't have really anybody supporting me right now. Let's see. The Jag is chilling off to the side. 183 is going to poke. And let's see if we can get behind the 183. I'm actually just going to drive right up. I could care less if this Jag shoots me, because guess what? you gone. And at that point, you gone. There you go. 2 shots, 2 clears, and we are up to 5,000 damage, which is quite a respectable amount, to be completely real. We got 8 more seconds left on our reload, and looks like the 100 got a bit distracted, which is fine with me. We're just going to get to his side. There you go. He's going to bonk the mouse. And we're gonna bonk him even harder. There's 1 pen, 467. It low rolls, but that's alright. We're gonna pen him in his lower plate for 470. Again, a low roll, but I could care less. We did 5,700 damage, and then we baited his turret to the back of the mouse. So there you go. A win is a win. I am very surprised our mouse lived throughout that entire game. But that was a great example of why the Foch is dangerous. There are people that will say, it sucks here, it sucks there. I don't really think it sucks. I think it's got a good gun. I think it's got great mobility, and I think it's got armor. And when you pair all those together, it's actually really enjoyable. 1,700 base XP, 4 kills, almost 6,000 damage. And for people that try to act like I cherry-pick my games, well, guess what? As you can see, that is the first battle I played. I did 2 battles for my 1375 video you'll see at some point. Did 2 battles for my Stayer video, 2 battles for my... I don't know, people always act like I cherry-pick my content, when in reality... I literally play 2 games, and I show the results. I've had many videos on the channel with defeats. I've had many videos on the channel with crazy victories, and that one there was a pretty good victory. So here we are, second game. Let's see what we can do. We got a 907, E4. I don't really care. I'm going to be honest, a lot of the time... I don't even pay attention to the enemy lineups because it doesn't change what gets spotted. The most important thing to look at on lineups are usually tank destroyers because those are the guys that are going to camp. If an E100's camping, then what are you going to do about it? Like, seriously, what are you going to do about it? But you can at least predict about their tank destroyers because they have an E4, because they have a Contra Car 1 Mark II, and their whole lineup is basically aggressive tanks. I'm not too worried about them camping. They got the WZ in mid, and bonk. There you go. Nice shot into the WZ, and... oh, that would have been so nice if we could have got that second pen out. But hey, I'll take a fire. That's still a pretty good chunk, and our XM66F gets another shell out into the WZ. Clearly, that player does not know what he's doing. Now, the greatest thing about the 150mm, actually the 155mm on this vehicle, is that it's a 155 with much lower alpha damage, but a much higher rate of fire. Now, you might not realize why that's super nice at first, but 155s have a lot of module damage, and it means when you're aiming it on your opponents, you can deal a lot more damage. Okay, that was just awful. Thankfully, we do have a second shell, but wow, that first shot was actually the worst thing I've ever seen. All right, well, we got a second shell, and it did roll that 704 quite nice, so not all too bad. Got the 907 off to the side, and with the E4 rolling away, I'm just going to push the 907, to be honest. Let's see, what's the 907 going to do? Well, we're going to push him, and bonk, there you go. Nice 530 damage shot into his vehicle once. Nice 450 damage shell into his vehicle, and the only thing I'm worried about now are the TDs. I'm not worried about this guy, because we can just scrape him right off us. He's not a threat, yeah, at all. Okay, well, where are you going to go, bro? Like, seriously, what are you going to do? Bonk! Bye-bye. Alright, well, we got the 704 off to the side, and... bye-bye. Again, this vehicle just pops off. The alpha damage, the DPM, the intra-clip. I always enjoy playing this tank when I pull it out, and this is no exception here. Let's see if we can get to the... oh, we got the tortoise right in front, and there you go. One nice 480 damage shell into his vehicle. Nice 469 damage shell into his tank. Then we're just going to back on up. He does hatch us, but that's alright. We just mosey on into cover, and you can no longer hit our weak spots. Our boss Chatillon is clearing that player over there, and that means all we realistically need to do is pull off in front of the tortoise, get one nice pen for 488, and reload again, bonk him in the hatch. There you go. That was pretty easy, I'm not going to lie. Don't want to be hit by the E5, so we're going to go low. And let's see what the E5's going to do. I'm just going to send him. I mean, I'm not worried at all about this E5. And it looks like he's not worried about us either for some weird reason. Okay, well, you do that. I'm just going to miss you once, because unfortunate. But again, we are an autoloader. So we get a second shell right into his tank. And Yeah, I mean, this is just another one of those situations where we're able to do a lot of damage very, very fast. Alrighty, let's reload again. How you doing, Mr. E5? Well, apparently you don't know how to aim, but that's fine. We're going to load in a heat shell. Nice 499 shot, and bonk! 155 to finish him off. There you go. 2 good games in the Foch, 2 victories, and 2 battles dealing over 5,000 damage, with most likely 2 aces in a row. Actually, 5,700 damage. I forgot we rammed that 907 a little bit. Yep, there you go, another ace. How much XP do we get this game? We got 1565. And once again, these games were back-to-back, as you can see. So, I mean, the Foch is just absolutely fantastic. Its mobility, DPM, alpha, penetration, all paired together for one fantastic just tank. And you might say that it's not in a good state right now, but honestly, you're just wrong, because I think I proved that the vehicle is in a great state. If you know how to use it, you can do very well in it. And that's what I think about the majority of tanks in Tier 10. I think Wargaming did a decent job when it comes to the rebalancing of the game. Just hopefully they don't change it from what it currently is, because I actually like the way a lot of Tier 10's going. I wish they would maybe nerf the TDs a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it's actually pretty good. The 183's in the worst state it's ever been, which makes it a lot less, punishing to go up against. Its Hesh deals less damage. A lot of people don't fire AP. Its accuracy got nerfed. That's all fine with me. And yeah, I've been enjoying Tier 10 lately. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.